Hey guys, welcome back to episode 3 here on the My Life in Poland series in Szpakowo. I keep saying like sort of the northeastern edge of Poland, I think, but I seem to remember looking it up on a map when we were trying to figure out how long it was going to take to drive from the UK Comston area to here, and I think that's where I saw it, anyways. But we'll just keep going with that, anyways. I'm just looking over my beautiful barley crops here. Actually, I didn't really. I guess we planted these in the month of September, and for whatever reason, I guess I thought so we still have the October that we could have planted these. So I guess I hadn't really considered that they'd already be in this state, like this they would have already germinated. But I guess we did move into a new month here, so we have this. We got some beautiful green here. So anyways, that's good news. I got talking with Lek last night. I was chatting with him and Maria, and Lek brought up a good point because he was looking at my tractor and everything. He said, "Well, how are you going to spray these things for herbicide? You don't have any narrow tires on your tractors." And so I got kind of panicked. So luckily enough, I don't know if you recall, but he had. I mean, they're not necessarily meant for open fields, but he had a couple of sprayers for sale. I'll show you what I got here. Actually, it's kind of silly, but I think these are more meant for like orchards. I just stuffed it back here. So this thing's got a 4-meter working width. It's like a 4-meter spread on it. So I managed to pick this up for $2,070. And then I spent $2,400 on 2,000 liters of herbicide. It was the smallest container he had. So anyways, yeah, it was, it seemed a little silly anyways, cause this wasn't meant for an open field, I don't think, but at 4 meters, I've traversed the fields in worse. The nice thing is I could go at a decent clip, but yeah, he got me all panicked thinking that I'd wake up this morning with weeds and not really have a good way to actually spray. So that kind of tapped us for cash between an interest payment coming out and that we're down to like $600, which kind of sucks. But anyways, we got a job to do though. Lex got a buddy who has a field that needs mowed, and I want to say he said he was going to pay us like $4 or $5 grand for it, which based on what I've seen for contracts on the map, $4 or $5 grand likely means that it's a fair sized field. So we're going to go get that done right away. And then once we're done that, we'll spin for the real estate offerings. I'm actually kind of excited to... Well, you want to do that first? Maybe we should do that first. Let's hook up the mower here. And then before we leave... Not that I have $600, so it's not like I have any money to be able to do anything there. But it sure would be good motivation to go find work if we knew that there was a good piece of land for sale, wouldn't it? Should have shut that off. I see the baler in there. Lek was saying he thought he might have another buddy that needs a really tiny field baled, so he'll call me later and let me know. I've always had this ability to meet people, and it seems like everybody's always willing to help, so it's good, and that seems to be carrying through here in Poland. I mean, I got lucky that both Lek and Maria lived in Canada near me when they met in university, but. So we had some things in common we found, but so I definitely got lucky there, but I don't know. I seem to get lucky all the time with people wanting to help. Anyways, okay, so let me get this set up here. All right, so we're going to start with the Google flip a coin thing, and we are in it's a down market again. So it's a 10% rebate if we choose to purchase something. All right, and we are reloaded here with the 251. There's 253, obviously, like I said before, on the pieces of property on the map, but we're not including the 2 that we already own. So we'll give the first one a spin here. All right, field 89, field 31, and field 119. Okay, starting with field 31, we are $122,000, and it looks like it's a field of toothpaste or green beans. Yeah, green beans. So that is not, that's 5 acres of, I'm sure that's a very nice field, but that is far too much money for us. That's field 31. All right, field 89 is kind of funny. It looks like so this field 88 is likely somebody's farm. Field 89 looks like a field behind their farm, and that's $10,000. So we could go check that out. I mean, can't hurt. So really, yeah, it's going to cost us like $9,600 if we decided we want to buy that. The only thing is, I don't see that, like, if this was a bunch of fields in a row, then we knew we could eventually turn it into like a bigger field, but I don't know. We'll go look at it anyways just for fun. All right, and field 119 is down at the bottom here. I mean, these are great fields, these long fields here, but that's over $100,000. So that's not our. We're like a $10,000 field kind of guy. That's right there. So, anyways, the property that we're going to go and mow for Lex Buddy is actually sort of straight out of town there. So we could probably pass by the property that's for sale quickly just to check it out, just to see what it is. I don't know. I mean, at 10 grand, it doesn't look like much of a field. It might not be worth it. Let's go drive past our canola field quickly on the way too and see. Now I got to watch out because I don't want to kill my crops. So yeah, let's go check out the canola and then we'll go check out this piece of land that's for sale. And that's kind of what we got to do now. I mean, we have our fields in. The only thing, I don't know how I would get a second round of fertilizer into the field without being able to drive. Like, I can't drive in the field, right? This, I believe if I check correctly, the canola field here is partially double fertilized because it already was fertilized where there was a grass field, but now, yeah, like I think if we see fertilized 100% right here, but then when we get into any of the areas where I expanded the field, we're down to 50%. So anyways, we'll have to figure that one out. I don't know how I'm going to put another round of fertilizer in here, but I should stop running around in my field. But yeah, so it's good. I mean, so basically those fields, I mean, sure, we could run with just the way they sit and we'd be able to harvest them when they're ready. They just wouldn't be fully fertilized, so we wouldn't get the same yield bonus. Wouldn't be as good. What are these at? 30%. All right, can't do anything with those. There's a back alley here. We'll take the back road. I don't know which of these farms I can cut through and which of these I can't yet, so let's go access the back road here and then we'll go check out that piece of land. But I think, I think we really just have to sort of scrounge work. Is that no, that's a property. We're just going to have to sort of scrounge for work and hope that we find enough to be able to make some money. Oh, okay, man, I'm trying to turn here. I come out wide so I could turn, and this guy just sneaks up on the inside there. You really got to watch yourself here. But yeah, we just got to keep making money, I guess, trying to scrounge work until we can afford some additional land. Or our crops are ready in the spring. Is that the property there? Yeah, field 89. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. What I would have liked to have seen would have been like a woodlot, because we could immediately turn a woodlot into cash. But I mean, for just a small, I don't know, for 10 grand, maybe we're better off just to save our money. But it's easily accessible. We could obviously put a crop into it. What is this, cotton? But yeah, we could put a crop in that. It's not that bad. We may get one bale off of it. But yeah, anyways, whatever. Let's go do this job, and then we'll see what else we can drum up for the day here. We might as well just enjoy our drive. That looks like a field that was supposed to be harvested there, maybe, and never got harvested. So the guy we're going to go see, I believe his name is David. I seem to remember a David in the UK also that we did a bunch of work for. I've taken the back roads today. So at the time of recording this, I have, today is the day that I uploaded the first episode of the series. And it's funny, like every time you upload episode 1 of a series, the activity on it on the channel goes crazy. So I had a sort of a substantial amount of activity through sort of the first 12-ish hours here, which I appreciate. Thanks so much for all the comments and everything. That's great. Lots of suggestions, which is cool. Yeah, lots of input on the what we could do with the real estate mod, that kind of stuff. Or real estate concept, I guess. It's not a mod. One comment that perhaps it would be better if we included more properties every month, and we may do that at random. But honestly, I just didn't want. I want as few layers of manual things that I have to remember to do as possible. I mean, we're gonna have to remember that we have to start paying Walter back at in March. 10% a month. Otherwise, I'll completely forget about that. All right, so this is the field right here, 155. Yeah. You know what? He never told me. He never told me what to do. I'm gonna get started here, and then I'm gonna ask him what his plans are for the grass, because he didn't really tell me. He just said get the grass cut. He didn't tell me, put it in a swath, and he didn't tell me go, whatever. He didn't tell me anything, which kind of leads me to believe maybe he just needed a cut, and I don't know what he would do. So I think I'm gonna give him a call and see if he's got a plan for the grass, or perhaps it's something we can, share. All right, that was a quick call. No, so actually he thanked me for reminding him and asked if it was possible. He was going to get somebody through here to put this in rows, but when I told him that my mower was already putting all of his grass into rows, he was pretty happy about that. So no, I cannot take any of the grass. He's got a plan for it. So yeah. Anyways, it was worth a shot. He did say he'd keep an eye out. I mean, if there was ever an opportunity for me to take advantage of something like that, he would definitely hook me up, and he appreciated that I was out here already saving him a little bit by putting this stuff in a row. So all good. You know what? I had to try, but whatever. I like this field though. Nice and flat, pretty square. Trees on the end over here. I mean, we could definitely make use of this, but I imagine this is probably one of those 100,000 plus type fields. While there are some inexpensive pieces of land here that is probably going to help us, there's also some very expensive stuff. And if with $600 in our pocket, we're not exactly rolling in dough. I was asking him if this is his farm over here. He said no, it's not, but he's got. He kind of reminded me a little bit of Walter. He's got some properties all over the place. I was worried that my inability to speak the language here was going to be a problem for me, but I mean, everybody's got their own sort of level of English here. There's some very, very broken English, and some, Lek and Maria were very fluent. So anyways, David was a little tougher, but I managed to figure out what he was talking about, and he managed to figure out what I was talking about, so that's good. So I think I should be able to sort of struggle my way through here. All right, this has been pretty uneventful so far. Good news, though, I got a message from David. So he actually has another field. So this field here is about 5 acres, I believe. So he's got another field that's about an acre less than this that he needs cultivated, actually. So after we're done here, we're going to go drop the mower off, and then we'll go pick up our cultivator, and we'll go hit his field. It's kind of up at the other end of town, similar, sort of where we turn into that back road. So that's good. I believe he said, he reminded me, I think this pays about $5,000, this mowing job here, and that cultivating job pays, I think, $3,000. So that should put a couple bucks in our pocket anyways. I mean, it's not enough money to buy that postage stamp of a piece of property that we saw. I don't know what, I guess, I mean, we have this month to plant. I think I said we could plant wheat and we could plant barley in this in the month of October. So beyond that, you can't really plant anything else. So, I mean, we could, if we did buy that postage stamp, we could put some crops in it. But I don't know. I don't know, man. That we kind of want to figure out how to make some money now, and that's definitely money in the future. But if we purchase, if we take our money and we buy that, and we buy that postage stamp and we put some crops in it, it's pretty much going to sit there dormant until harvest time next year, right? So, but if we just sat on our money, picked up some more odd jobs in that, and then and then we roll into the the month of November, what happens if a nice little woodlot comes available or whatever, and we still have our money? I think that's probably the better play. You kind of got to strategize a little bit now if it's going to limit your amount of opportunities every month. I can see spinning that wheel becoming a little bit tedious, but I can also see us all cheering along as we hope for something good. As I was just cruising back and forth here, getting some work done, I couldn't help but just stare at the Batwing as I was cruising. I think I like this far better than the John Deere Batwing that I've put hundreds and hundreds of hours on the John Deere Batwing and always thought it was pretty awesome. And actually, I believe even it was Gaming Joy in FS22 that provided me a color configurable Batwing. I believe. Am I dreaming about that? Maybe it was just in my dreams, dreaming about color changing Batwings. But I think I like this better. I'm glad we put the trash fan on it. I have no idea what it does, but I'll tell you one thing: it looks pretty cool. Not completely sold on the orange, but I do like the fact that it's not just black. At some point we could probably do a paint job and then maybe we could paint it black or whatever, but I kind of like it. We're in need of servicing on this tractor. I mean, obviously we can do the labor ourselves on our yard. But we may need to buy some parts, and there's always fluids and that kind of stuff. So that's going to be an expense coming up here, and I can only imagine. I don't know. We're about 50% health here, so and our fuel's actually running low. So yeah, we're gonna have to spend some money there too. That's funny. So when the contract finishes, yeah. So I don't have any contract related mods on. So the second that contract finished, it just said bye-bye and told me that I didn't have access to the land anymore. Okay, I mean it's fine by me. I won't continue doing the work, but that was a little abrupt. Like, I also don't think, because I don't have any mods, any contract type mods on right now. Even if David had said to me, "Yeah, man, go ahead and why don't you take half the grass, bale it up for yourself, and leave me half," I don't think I can do that right now. Where I believe if I put on the Gaming Joy Contract Boost mod, I can set it so I can take stuff, I believe. Or there was another one. I think that was the one. So, but what I don't know is, can I set it so I don't get any additional money? Because I don't want the dollar boost. I would like to be able to take stuff from the contract if they were, so willing to provide. But we may have to go look into that. Passing by the dealership there, I saw Maria waving. She's got a sister here who she wants to hook me up with. I don't think I really want to get into that, to be honest with you. I just want to get out here. I just want a nice, quiet, no drama. I don't know why I immediately can equate Maria's sister with drama, but maybe it was because of what Lek told me. Maria's sister is drama, I think were his exact words. So whatever, man. I'm gonna leave this out just in case something else pops up. We're gonna need a little bit more storage space at some point. Lek was saying for the most part the area is pretty safe, but he said, it doesn't hurt to protect yourself. With these crops in, things are a little tighter here. Alright, well, I don't remember exactly where this field is, but I know it's just sort of out this way, so let's just see if we can't find it. Actually, I should probably check the map, because I don't want to take a wrong turn. So I can just head out on the main road, and it looks like there's access to it through another field, so that should be good. Looking at some of these little properties, and then looking at, we've recently in the game seen a number of animal husbandry mods, like small versions of things and customizable things and things without fences and whatever. So what maybe I'll leave it up to you guys. I tend to default to goats and sheep, and we did water buffaloes there on New Frontier. What do you think of pigs, do we look at a couple horses? Like, is that something that that you'd like to see on the map? I think we're a little further up here. Just curious. Has anybody had any good luck with anything? I kind of feel like maybe raising some chunky pigs for sale might not be a bad idea. Not a lot of them, but a couple anyways. Wait, where are we going here? Okay, so this is part of it right here. This is the field. So that's not bad. It doesn't look any bigger than the field that we just mowed. Yeah, so what do you think? If we got a piece of land, I mean, even like that, I mean, there's a thought, the piece of land, that little postage stamp there, I mean, we'd have to put, I don't think I'm going to buy that because I'd rather have a little bit of cash flow going into the next month. But if we did happen to come across some cash, meaning, you know, maybe David's got some more work for us or whatever, that little, you know, and if we had the budget to buy that small piece of land, you know, and then still had some money to be able to put in like a pig pen, is that, has anybody, I had pigs on Bally Springs. I think it's maybe the only time I've ever had pigs. And I don't know that I ever was there long enough to really benefit from them to know whether it was worth it or not. I mean, they're in the game. There's got to be a way to make money on them, right? I was gonna say there's nothing like cultivating up a hill. It's a good thing this tractor's got a bit of power, anyways. It's nice. I like the concept of doing, like of using your own equipment for contracts. It also makes, I mean, like there's a bunch of harvesting contracts right now. I'm afraid that they're all like root crops or whatever. I never actually looked, but you know, so I don't obviously have any equipment to harvest carrots, for example. So I won't be taking any of those contracts. Not that I think I would, anyways, but. Yeah, it really kind of makes you think twice. This is kind of an interesting lump of dirt here. I wonder if there's some purpose to that or if that's just decoration. Where did I put the link? I put a link, maybe it was the first episode of this, maybe. Yeah, I think it was. In the first episode, I put a link. I put links to the Farmer Klein map tour, and then I put a link to, is it like Rojat? Something is one of the map makers, I believe. So he's got a YouTube channel. I linked to a role play series that it looks like he's got going on here, where he's able to interact with the people that are talking in different places on the map. They're speaking in Polish, and it looks like he can speak in Polish also. So I found that I've watched pretty much all of his videos and not even understood a single word. But I like the. It's got some old tractors, and actually I didn't see it in use, but I saw he had an old sprayer at one point. It was like a really cool one where it's sort of just looked like a homemade sprayer almost. I saw it in a shed, or I saw it attached to a tractor, but I didn't see it in use. But I'd like to get my hands on something like that, because really when I was looking in the store, past that, like, I mean, obviously I just bought a herbicide, like a sprayer whose real purpose is for like orchards, but or vineyards or whatever. But I mean, I bought that, and I managed to get a pretty good deal on it. It was used, but past that, it's like $35,000 before you get to a sprayer. I feel like there should be another option. There should be a cheaper option. I want to make sure that I'm not really missing anything in case David comes by. I mean, he was kind enough to let me do these jobs, but you know, it's not like we're best friends or anything. So, you know, if he sees me missing parts of his crops, I may never get a chance to explain. I might just never get a phone call back. Shoot, I think I just inadvertently cultivated a bit of the other person's field there. I got to really watch having crop damage everywhere, or whatever the mod's called. It's very easy to destroy somebody's livelihood. And I don't really want to do that, so we got to be careful not to to roll too far or whatever with the tools out. Not to mention, if I drove through somebody's field, I'm going to be leaving tire tracks. So I got another phone call from David. He's got about 2 acres he needs baled up. So he's asking if I had ability to do round bales. So I said, yes, I do, sir. So we're going to be dropping off the cultivator in a second. Well, once this is done, and then we're going to go get our baler. 2 acres is going to be next to nothing, which is nice, so it should be fairly quick. I guess we're lucky that we came to town when there's some farming activities to be done. It'd be rough if we showed up here in the middle of winter. But then I also would still have some money because I probably wouldn't have had to buy some of the stuff we had to buy. And then speaking of buying, I was on Lex's website. He's got a nice little Massey. It's like 50 grand though, but man, it's just like a nice little modern Massey there, which would come in handy probably. Put some loader arms on that thing. We're going to be limited with this Fiat here. Obviously, it's a big brute, but I mean I can't put loader arms on it. There's no option to put narrow tires on it. It's just kind of it just kind of is what it is. But it sounds good and it smells good. So I mean you can't beat that, I guess. 92%. Get ready for the boot. Imagine it just stayed at 99%. Okay, hang tight. I'm just going to snap a picture and send it over to David and then also ask him for some money so we can make sure that we've got $600 in the bank and I don't want anybody to try to charge us anything if we don't have any money. So I'll be right back. All right, let me jump back down here. So, all right, I sent David a picture and yeah, so he sent me, it was almost 9 grand. It was about $8,900, I believe. So we've got... anyways, a buddy of his has, I guess he was talking to him and he said he got a Canadian to mow his lawn. So he's got he's got a buddy anyways who's got a small field that needs mowing also. So we're like hopping here, friggin' musical jobs. So there's nobody else that needs anything cultivated right now. So we'll go throw this cultivator back. We'll grab the baler so we can take care of David first, and then we got a field, yeah, and then we got one we have to go and we're gonna have to go and mow. I knew we were gonna need that mower again. So these odd jobs, I guess, David was saying will pop up often. So he said I was lucky that I was connected, that I got connected to him because he'll be a good source. People are always calling him looking for workers, so. That's good. I'm like, well, if people are calling you looking for workers, then call me and let me know because I'm looking at making some money here. I don't have any other ways to make money, so I'm kind of at the whim of some of the farmers around here. Is that how you would say it? At the whim? I don't think so. Yeah, I guess I didn't think that my life in Poland would be any different than this. Just basically working the fields. I kind of like it. I kind of like just getting some farm work done. Actually, what am I doing? Let's just, yeah, okay, whatever. We'll put this there. Okay, so I just want to check to see what kind of parts I'm going to need to repair this thing. Oh, okay, so I only have to spend $53 on repairing it. So what did we have? Did we have the mower on? Is that when I thought our tractor was falling? I think it was the mower. I gotta look. I think the Batwing is in need of some servicing. But actually, that doesn't matter. We're gonna go bale first. But yeah, I think we had the mower on when I saw that the service indicator was at half mast. But yeah, I think that was because of the mower. Yeah, look at this thing. When I hook this up, the service bar goes way down. Let's see if I can carefully back this up to the workshop trigger without running into any crops. I gotta look into, somebody made a comment today about how they used to use mouse and keyboard, and then I thought he was gonna say, you know, why don't you give steering wheel or something a try, which I just don't want anything on my desk, but yeah, they were saying they use an Xbox controller and a keyboard, I think. Wow, $457. I guess this is the time to do it, isn't it? Wait, did that cost us any money? Did money just come out of our account, or did we not already have $9,666? I'm gonna have I'm gonna have to review that one because I kind of think that nothing came out of our bank account. All right, so the baling contract is just down here where those guys were working on the power pole. So we'll go rip down there. That's just at the bottom end of town, so that's not bad. I don't know. I didn't notice the size of the field. Did I say 2 acres? I think I said 2 acres, didn't I? Our little Coloss baler here should be able to handle that. This thing is so small. I mean, I guess if we parked it behind the Volvo, it would probably look a lot bigger, but still, it's not a very big. It's not a big baler when you consider some of those massive like square balers and that. They're just huge. I've seen. I've never been to like a proper farm show where you get to see a lot of this big stuff up close, but I've seen, you know, people filming at those type of shows, standing beside. I mean, just use the baler for example, standing beside the baler and just looking like super small, right? Compared to the size of the baler. All right, so it's just up at the intersection over here. When it says bale, I'm assuming that everything's already rowed up. That was probably this. He probably got the person that was supposed to do the field. We were mowing. Probably did this for him. Okay, yeah. So we're ready to rock here. Looks like those boys are still working. But I have a feeling those workers are never going to finish their job. They just had this look about them like, yeah, you know what? We're getting paid hourly. We're not going to be done this job probably for another 6 years. That woodlot that was for sale in September is one of the ones just ahead of us here. So it's a good area. The trees are good. But you kind of have to have a plan for that woodlot too. I mean, let's say we get the trees out. Likely what we need to do is replant, right? So maybe what we need to do is before we get into any kind of possible forestry work, we got to make sure that we have a way to replace what we take out of the ground. David's on to me. Before I even had a chance to ask, he already said, and no, none of those bales are available. Like, all right, fine. We'll just bail it up. You pay us, we'll bail. He said, how about we make a deal? He'll just let me know when there's an opportunity so I don't ask him every time. Like, man, you just can't help me for asking. I don't like the way the game delays. Like, see how the straw swaths there is not actually disappearing? I hate that about the game right now. So it looks like I'm just missing huge sections, but then when you look back, yeah, see, it's like it's kind of silly. Hopefully they fix that where it'll just change. You pick something up, it should just disappear. Man, I was on the sort of farmer's helper app there, and dang, there's a lot of harvesting contracts available. It's all root crops. Like, this is the time of year, I guess, to take all that stuff out of the ground. It's nightmare fuel. But man, there's a lot. There's some big money contracts out there too, but they're just like, it's like a field of peas, for example, but obviously a big field. You can make a lot of money selling that stuff. I just think that it's not worth the harvest, but the crop itself is worth some money. All right, we're almost done here. There's just this and that little piece of scrap over there, and the counter is clicking up quickly. Yeah, it's almost got this thing down. What happens to the straw that's in our baler? Contract finished, and I guess maybe when we collect, the money will or the straw will disappear. Okay, let me just make sure that. Hold on, I'm gonna pull over here so I'm out of the way of these guys here, and I'm just gonna call David and ask him if he needs anything else bailed before I put this thing away. It seems like every time I put something away, he needs something. All right, no, he doesn't need anything bailed. There is another guy he knows that needs a very small field baled, but he said, listen, that's not important. Go mow my buddy's lawn there, and then and then Dave's got another small field just up behind the shop that needs cultivated. Hoi, oi, oi. I think what we need to do is we need if this is a kind of, well, it's like every time you play this game, right? You start off with contracts, you put a bunch of greenhouses in because you think that's going to make you some money. Then your own land starts, erupting money, and then all of the small jobs no longer make sense to do anymore. But it would maybe be a smart idea if we did find a piece of land right in the middle of town to put a little shop in there or something, and just start storing all of our equipment right in the middle of town so it's easy to get at. So back to the mower. Oh God, mower, cultivator, and then we'll see if anything else needs to be done. But how much more could there be? All right, this is not organized now. We don't even really have a lot of room to turn around or anything here. All right, so looking at the map, I believe the field we're mowing is there was a little creek right near David's field that we mowed, and I believe this one is like literally right on the other side of that creek. So that's where this guy probably saw me mowing maybe and asked David who I was. I guess he liked my tractor. All right, so that dirt road, so we're going to make a quick left and a quick right, and that'll take us into those back fields. Yeah, see, if you don't know, you blow right past this little road and never know that it goes back to these fields, but this is great. I like these little sneaky fields, these sneaky roads. And bumpy too, man. That's like one of the best things about FS25. I guess the way the roads are more like laid onto the land rather than sort of placed on the land. They're like a decal more, I guess. Is that the way? Is that how you would explain it? Anybody that knows what they're talking about? Not to tempt fate, but I did have a couple of people tell me that they put some hours in on this map and then experienced one thing or another, we'll say. Somebody had a multitude of trees falling through the map. Somebody else just had game crashes. So I'm hopeful that we don't have any issues. I did mention in the first episode that it was like the 5th time I had tried to record it, and partly that was because of a couple game crashes. But I sort of chalked that up to mostly to mods. I didn't necessarily consider that it might actually be the map. But anyways, let's keep our fingers crossed. If one day we wake up, in a hospital bed with no recollection of what happened, it's because we had a catastrophic game save failure, and we needed to restart somewhere else. So that'll be the story. Farming accident, severe concussion, and resulting in a coma, and then basically I had to go back to Canada to be cared for. I think I can cut through here. I think we're gonna cut through here. That is super cool how they got tractors parked there. And somebody in the booth? Oh my god, somebody's actually in the booth. That's so cool. You never see that. You always have like a way station or whatever, and there's never anybody in it. Okay, yeah, see, it's the one right here on the other side. Field 48. Looks like some guy named Voltaire. I wish we could have names that were, so we're in Poland, right? I wish our workers could have Polish names. But I think David is actually a name you would find in Poland, right? But anyways, yeah, I think you know what I mean, right? I wish we could have like Lek. Like where's Lek? We got sunflowers out here. So these fields, these fields are on the map, I guess, right? I think we're out in like big field territory here. big field territory, which I do not want to just run them over. I guess it's hard to tell where the edge of the map is and like where it starts and where it stops. Right, so this thing's pretty much just like a smaller version of the field that was across the creek there. Okay, so we have this, and we have a field for David to cultivate, and by that point, it should be lunch, and maybe time to take a break. Not that I wasn't built for this, but holy moly, one thing after another. But we did start the day with about $600 in the bank, and now we're what, 11.5. So we've basically made about 11 grand so far. This I believe this contract here pays like $300 or $3,500, and then the cultivation that David needs isn't going to pay a lot. I think we're somewhere in the teens for that. So all in all, won't be a bad day. I mean, we should be able to leave today with some money, and maybe that's what October is all about for us. Maybe it's a matter of getting as many contracts done, so that way when we roll into November, we cross our fingers and hope maybe we get a piece of property with some trees on it that we can process. Because we did really well with the wood chips on our land. So if we were able to grab a wood lot, you know, it'd be great to make like 100 grand. Get Pete or get Walter paid off early. All right, guys, we're getting close to the end of this. I don't mean to keep jumping up like that, but I mean, how many times have you seen me mow a field? Kind of want to try to jam as much as we can into this work day here. If we can keep this contract, you know, flow going, then we could be sitting in pretty decent shape by the end of the day, actually. And I think the fact that every contract, although they're somewhat small, they, you know, that's not a bad thing, I don't think. It's kind of keeping things interesting. Okay, so like before, I'm going to get on the phone with David for just a second here and see if he knows anybody that needs any mowing while we have this before we go and cultivate. All right, yeah, as luck would have it, there are two very, very small fields just on the way home to put this. So we're heading back to put this mower away anyways. So we'll go run the mower. One's David's, and then another one is one of actually Maria's friends. I don't remember her name anyways, but she's got a small field. Literally, both are just right around the corner from our sort of secondary field there. So we'll go take care of those quickly, and then we can go and do this cultivation contract, and then maybe we can you know, take a break and go have some lunch. Yeah, we're on the outskirts of town here. So I think, I don't know whether that's actually the map edge or not. No. Oh yeah. So all these, so there's some big, yeah, there's some good stuff out here. So if we ever, let's see if we ever get to the point where, like, I think I've said it a million times, I'm not a big field kind of guy, but yeah, like there's some, you know, reasonable sized properties without, you know, totally killing yourself on both sides here. We would hopefully have upgraded tractors a couple of times before we ever get to the point where we're looking at farming these kind of fields. But yeah, so I think you can almost see like a line that we're running parallel. Oh, I gotta watch those trees. You can see this field, and then behind it there's like a grass field maybe. I think these fields are the edge, and then beyond that is the edge of the map. But anyways, that doesn't matter to us because we are just small time in-town farmers so far. I think in, you know, okay, granted we did come here with some ability to sell off some vehicles and trailers, and we had a couple bucks, so that kind of helped. But I think we're doing okay for ourselves here so far. I mean, well, yes, we got a little light on cash overnight. We're almost back. I mean, we collected off Walter, I guess. We made $3,500 on that last mowing contract. This field right here behind this shed, so it's just right here on the left. This pays like $600, I think. It's David's field. I mean, I think this is the kind of field where you could literally just fart and it'd be done. Yeah, if I can keep this mower out of the trees, we'll be done this quickly. right, that puts us at 94%, so we're probably this pass and it's done, I would guess. Yeah, she's done. All right, let's go over and find this other little field. So apparently there's a little road right on the other side of the creek that's just past our land here. I don't remember seeing it. It's probably more like a laneway. Oh, okay, it's up between the horses and the cows, it looks like. So this field must back onto the little creek. Yeah, see, these are cool roads, man. I like this map quite a bit. Which I guess is a good thing because we're going to be here for a while, but it's, yeah, it's nice. Okay, so that looks like a grass field. That looks like a big grass field. I'm thinking it's going to be this next one right here because this contract pays less than the one David just had us do. I just want to double check. So, field 17. Field 17. Yeah, so it was actually Maria that told me about this one and because her friend, and she did say that her friend's married, so to back off. I'm like, wait a minute, who do you think I am? I'm not after every woman in town, you know? Oof. Just pushing this beast out of the creek with the mower behind me still on and lowered wasn't the smartest idea. This, so the proximity to our current property, this field would be great actually, this sort of run of fields along the creek. So once you got past those horses, although I don't know how you'd ever get like a cultivator through there. Like into this area, it'd be kind of tough. There must be another entrance. I see another road up here. Yeah, okay, there's kind of a way. You could sort of like work your way up here back. Because, yeah, this is kind of tight getting through these two pastures. All right, I think things have calmed down a little bit on the contract front. There's still a little bit of work out there, but I think we're going to just quietly get the cultivation contract done that we need to get done, and then maybe just disappear into our house for a little bit because we've had a pretty busy morning here. Not to mention, I mean, I had a couple adult beverages, more than I probably would have had like normal when it was getting to know Maria and Lek there. We had a lot of laughs, so my head was actually hurting a bit when I woke up this morning. Must have slept weird. Oh my god, this is like a circus act. I'm gonna leave this right there. What the heck? That was very unbecoming of me. And whoever's crops these are, they planted them too close to the road. So I gotta probably have to throw the guy a couple bucks for all the crops I've taken out there on the edge. Okay, so I think I know how to get to this field. It should be just up behind this the shop. Busy, busy, busy. This is, so how many, what did we do? We started off the day with we started off the day working with David. I think we had this will be our second cultivation contract, I think. Third cultivation contract, maybe? We've had a baling contract. We've had multiple mowing contracts. There's a lot of stuff going on today. Man. So I think there's a little roadway that juts out the back of the shop, if I remember correctly. I think if we slide back here, there's a little throughway here. Yeah, that's right. So I don't think that's the field. That one already looks pretty cultivated. It's the one back here. Look at this piece of land here. Like, we could easily take these trees out, chip them, make a fortune, and then come back in and plant trees. That'd be cool. That'd be really good. Yeah, field 138. David. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I mean, you probably don't want to just roll up and clear cut a forest and then perhaps resell it as I mean, so if you bought a piece of land that had a bunch of brush and trees and other debris on it, and then you cut all the trees down, cleared out all the debris, got it all leveled with gravel or whatever, that piece of land would probably be worth more than the before picture, because it's all cleared and ready to develop. Meanwhile, I guess it depends on where it is, obviously, but then meanwhile, you've managed to take a fortune off the field in wood. If everybody had the option to purchase their land raw, then they could go and take down all the trees and make some money. That doesn't really work that way. Well, this is kind of neat. So I did notice when I was picking around on the map before getting started on the series, I noticed in these forest lots, see how there's a bit of a line here? I thought there was a path, but it actually, if you look at this, that's the property line. So the map makers have gone in and kind of like when I put gravel down to, when a surveyor comes in to sort of throw down some gravel to mark off the property, they've already marked off so you can sort of tell where the property is inside the woods here. I thought that was really cool. Anyways, all I'm doing is just avoiding work. Get back to work. Dang it. It's a good sized field in front of us there. Yeah, we're starting to see all these fields harvested. So I bet you by the end of October anyways, like we'll probably see, there'll probably still be contracts throughout this in-game day. And then likely as we roll through October, which I honestly can't see October being much else other than just us doing contracts, because I think that's what the restriction of the real estate sort of component does, because I have $16,000 right now. I'd probably figure out a way to make that money grow in a piece of land right now, but in the end I don't see that $10,000 piece of land being something that's going to make us a lot of money. But I do have obviously so if we do a ton of contracts, we do have to the end of October to decide if we're in the market for that piece of land. And it might be a good place to put a warehouse or something, because our current setup, we don't have any, like I've got that kind of where it looks like maybe on the corner there where it looks like there was a shed, but there isn't now. So I could potentially put a building in there for storage. Maybe we've got to go test fit some just so we know. But then we could use another piece of land. So, I mean, if I could pick that one piece of land up behind those other sheds for, $10,600 less the 10% rebate, so we're down around $9,000, then, that would be, maybe that's a decent investment for the future for a place to store some things. We could put a big shop in there or something. That's maybe something to consider. Not everything is going to be a money maker, but then also it'd be nice to have everything centralized, because you wouldn't want to just be running all over the place trying to figure out where you left everything. That would be rough. So I just saw that David has posted another baling contract. This guy's a machine. Like, oh my god. So I may take him up on that. I think it was like a $1,700 job that he put out there. Can't be a very big field if it's $1,700. So I may take him up on that, but maybe I gotta go take a break and grab some in-game lunch, and then maybe I can grab the baler and go head down there. And then I think at some point here I have to sort of put a plug in it and call it a day, and stop taking on more jobs. Although who am I to? I could work right till the dark, I guess. Just maybe you guys want to leave, and I'll just continue working. And then we can see what kind of bankroll I could have by the next episode when you guys come back. Where do you go when you guys leave? Where do you go? I mean, I'm just working away here, and you guys go. Somebody's gonna tell me that there's no collisions on those poles, but I'd still avoid them. I don't like when fields are when fences and shrubs and power poles and stuff don't have collisions. I never really liked that. Shoot. All right. Well, let me get this. I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna collect this from David. We're gonna have I'm gonna go have a bite to eat, and then we'll reconvene for what will likely be a bit of a recap, and maybe I'll have an idea what I'm going to be attacking in the afternoon, so you guys know what I'm in for. All right, how's it going? I finished lunch, and I was just curious. This pond over here seemed a little conspicuous. I was wondering if maybe it was stocked with fish or something. This is like right across from our field over here. But no, I'm not seeing anything in there. Just an odd pond in this guy's yard. It's funny because it sits up above the water level here. This sits so much further, so this creek wouldn't feed that pond, I guess. I don't know where. Anyways, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, well, that was a good lunch, and yeah, sure enough, I checked in with David just to see what he had in mind with this baling contract, and sure enough, we're going to be grabbing the baler and going to do that. So anyways, I think that's how the rest of my day is going to be going. So we'll go get that done. It's a $1,700 job. So, I mean, I can only imagine it's probably not going to be too big. Maybe we'll just go for a drive down there and you can actually see what it is we're dealing with. Yeah, I think that's basically what the rest of this day is going to be. I mean, that's what this entire day has been, is just basically doing contracts. So I think really October is going to be this, just contracts, and then hopefully November we have an opportunity to invest in some land with some potential woodworking. Yeah, we baled that field, right? So I bet you that field's going to need to be cultivated at some point. I have a feeling I'll be doing a lot of cultivating when we get into the second day of October. So what I may do is go and see you again in November, and basically just work through as many contracts as I can here in the month of October, just to build up a couple bucks. Because then I'd like to. I saw there was a planter and some seedlings for sale over at Lek and Maria's. So I mean, I could see trying to plant some trees. I not anywhere close to what we have on New Frontier, but I think that if we could put some trees in, that could be some good future dollars for us. But yeah, I think we're going to leave that there as I go rip this field here. This looks pretty straightforward, and then we'll see what else is on tap for us. I'll try to keep a bit of a tally. Is there something that says how many contracts we've done? Yeah, right there. So contract income. So far we've collected $17,700 in contract income. So I'll see how far I can boost that by the time we meet again. And yeah, unless I can come up with something that we can do in October together, we'll likely pick this up in November. We're getting into the winter months, obviously, so that's another consideration. We may at some point just jettison our way into spring. But anyways, we just got on the map. We're trying to get ourselves settled here, so we'll spend as much time together as we possibly can. But yeah, so with that, I'm going to bid you farewell, and we'll see you in episode 4, which should be coming up fairly soon after this. I'm kind of binge playing on this right now, and not. I got to get back on the New Frontier, but I think we'll be spending a little bit extra time on this, just because it is. Anyways, I'm curious to see how we're going to get ourselves set up here. But all right, so as usual, hit me up in the comments and let me know what your thoughts are. Is this contract strategy our only one? I'm kind of thinking it is. We're without being able to go purchase land, we're sort of just, that's it pretty much. Do you think pigs are a good idea? That was something else I was wondering earlier. And yeah, anything else that comes to mind, let me know. All right, guys, so I appreciate everything. Take it easy, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.